You can say what you want, but I never been scared. Never been scared. Never been scared.
Welcome to the Motorsports Podcast, where everyone has a story. On today's episode, I speak with 1998 graduate of Southwood High School, Quinton White. Quinton takes some time out to sit down with the podcast to discuss his time at Bethune Middle, Southwood High, and his stints at Southern University in Shreveport and Navarro College. Q also breaks down some of the struggles and successes he had while growing up in Mooretown. Quinton also shares about how during his playing career, his mentality and approach to the game was always at 100%, whether that was on the basketball court or the football field. Now as an entrepreneur, Quinton spends his time building his business and supporting his family. Quinton owns and operates White Ice Italian Ice, which is locally owned and operated at 3746 Hollywood Avenue in Shreveport, Louisiana. Here you can find Quinton and his entire family serving the community. We have a lot to get into in this episode, so thanks for listening. Now let's start the conversation. All right, welcome to the Motorsports Podcast. I am here with Quinton White, Q Dog, Q. Got any other names I need to put in here? Pretty Quinton.
Pretty Quinton.
Man, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. I appreciate you reaching out to me, man. Like I told you, bro, I never thought somebody would be interested in my little old career at Southwood. And
man, everybody has a great viewpoint, a great perspective, man. So we'll dive into it, man. And trust me, man, you'll have a lot more to say than you know. So let's jump into it, man. So how did you get started playing sports?
Man, my brother, he's the closest brother to me, which is 10 years older than me. He played football, and just seeing him play football and hearing the stories about him playing football, I wanted to be talked about in the same light, you know. So football was actually the first thing I was introduced to by my brother. So after football, my sister, she was crazy about Magic Johnson, and he couldn't do no wrong. And I can remember her going crazy. He was in a New Edition video one time, and she like to die. And I was like, man, I want that same reaction. So I'm gonna play basketball too. And that's where basketball started. That's what sports really started.
So what age was that when, like I said, when your brother first introduced you to football?
Man, probably about 4 or 5 years old.
Was that just something y'all was like just playing out in the yard, in the street? Oh.
Man, he would always walk around with a football jersey on, with a football, and shoot, he started throwing it to me one day outside, and shoot, that's where it went.
Oh, and I guess football and basketball are two different, because like I said, you got to have quite a few people to get together to kind of play any kind of football. But basketball, you can kind of get out there on your own, shoot around, or even if it's just one-on-one, you just need one other person. So, like, how did basketball get started similar, where you just kind of, out there just kind of shooting?
Basketball for me didn't start till I was about 9. A guy named, we called him BJ, a guy named James Watson, moved down the street from us. He was a little bit older than us, probably about 5 or 6 years older than us. And he had a basketball goal in his backyard, which he made out of a milk crate. Mm-hmm. Put the pole in the ground, put the board on the back, put the crate on the backboard, and that's where I started playing. Didn't know nothing about basketball. Like, I really couldn't do nothing. I got called for double dribble, travel. Like, every time I touched the ball, I couldn't do nothing but stand there, hold it, and pass it to somebody else. But one play I remember distinctively is that passed me the ball, and he shot it. And I jumped up and pushed it back in. in the crate at 9 years old. The goal was
Okay.
probably about 6 feet tall, 7 feet tall. And at 9 years old, I jumped up and pushed it in. And he was like, "Oh my God, you dunked it! You dunked it! You dunked it!" And I had no idea what I did at all. And
Right.
ever since then they moved the goal. Then his mom and them got him a goal on the front of the carport. And it was real deal. And I'm talking about that sucker was high. I'm like, man, I don't know who could jump up and dunk that thing. But it was a guy played for Southwood named Marcel Gibson back in the day.
Okay.
He stayed next door. And I'm watching them play like 3-on-3 in the driveway. And man, Marcel went up and boom. I was like, oh my God. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. And man, watching Marcel dunk, man, that bro, basketball, like I wanted to play basketball.
Boom. Right there. Just fell in love with it right there.
Right then, right there. But it fell off. Like once they moved, the goal went with them. You know, so basketball fell off until I got in the 6th grade at Bethune, because from the fifth and 6th grade, I started playing football. Okay. But it was like what kind of messed with my mind is that I can remember being a little kid. They brought my brother home, and his ankle was broke. Didn't take him to the hospital. Oh, wow. Brought him home. He broke his ankle in football practice, and I'm in the kid in the driveway, and I look up, I see my brother got the car, limping, crying. Never seen my brother cry. I'm like, do I want to play football now? And it spooked me up until the point when I got in the 5th grade. Man, like I went to every practice. I played for the Lakeshore Tornadoes. I went to every single practice, bro. Man, when I got game time, I stopped playing. Like, oh, wow. Man, like what happened to my brother? Like, I ain't trying to have that happen to me. Like, and I stopped playing.
So what position were you playing with the Tornadoes?
Running.
Oh.
Running back.
So you're playing running back. And how old was your brother when he broke his ankle?
Man, my brother was probably about 15 years old, and I was 5.
So he was in high school. So he broke it like.
Yeah, he was about it. Well, I ain't gonna say he was. Nope, he wasn't. He was going to Bethune at the time. So he had to be like.
So he might have been
13.
Okay, so he might have been 13, 14.
Yeah, 13 or 14 when that happened. Yep.
Okay.
So that stuck with me.
Oh yeah.
And you know, meanwhile, like I'm being inspired because Roger Craig and Marcus Allen was my favorite running backs. So I'm inspired by them. That's what I want to be like. I want that number. Like that's it. That's what I want to be. And bro, when I tell you I practice, I was starting. I never missed a practice. And when I got up the time, I was like,
What did your parents think though? Like when you just kind of up and quit?
Man, they really wasn't into sports like that. You know, like they didn't push us in any way like that. It was whatever you want to do. All they were focusing, like I said, they were older. It was about school, diploma, job. Like extracurricular stuff, you did it. If you didn't, it wasn't no sweat off their brow.
So even seeing like what happened with your brother, so did he eventually like obviously get his ankle taken care of? Did he go back and play?
Yeah, he got it taken care of. He came back. I think he only played like freshman football at Southwood, and like he was a dog, but he ended up dropping out, having my sister raise my nephew. So he never really even went back to football no more, but he was so promising, man. Like they had won the middle school championship, went all the way to the Cotton Bowl. He played in front of the Dallas Cowboys and everything, man. Like he was, like Coach Moss and them was really like, this guy got it. But man, you know, the world got the best of him, you know.
Right. Okay. All right. So like you said, you kind of tailed off, man, specifically on basketball when they took the goal away.
Yeah.
So like you said, you got the Bethune in the sixth grade, and like what made you want to start playing when you got back to Bethune, when you got to Bethune in the sixth grade?
Man, it was kind of, I guess, put on me. Like, I got there with no sport aspirations at all, bro. When I got there in the sixth grade, the only extracurricular activity I was doing was playing the violin, bro. I was in the orchestra when I was in the sixth grade. And that's all I was doing. I didn't do nothing outside of that. And they had I think they had the tryout for football first. And me and Big Brandon Baker, everybody went out, but we were the only two sixth graders that made the football team in the sixth grade. So after that was over, basketball, like they were so stacked at basketball, like them same guys, like in the neighborhood, you would watch them play and see them playing stuff like that, jumping out the gym, doing all kind of layups and all this kind of stuff. And then them the same guys you see when you got right back to Bethune. So like you wasn't finna even get a chance with them guys being out there. But the guy, it was a police officer, had like a spar team.
Delaney?
It wasn't Delaney. It was
okay.
Man, I just went blank on him, man. He right around Shreveport now. He mainly coached girls basketball. And matter of fact, that's how I met Chauncey. That went to Green Oaks.
Okay.
I met Chauncey the same day he got out of juvenile detention. The coach, the police brought him to our basketball practice. And Chauncey didn't know nothing. He didn't know what a layup was, a jump shot, a free throw, nothing. And passing the ball to hit him right in his chest. He didn't know what was going on. But over time, man, Chauncey got it. Like,
right. So at that point, like in the sixth grade, like how tall was he?
Man, Chauncey was probably already about 6'3".
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
he was already.
So sixth grade, 6'3".
He was already a huge dude.
Right.
But he was just raw. You know what I'm saying? It was just like anybody who had never played basketball before, But like I say, he came along, and even with that, when it was time to travel, my mom, she didn't trust nobody. When it was time to go out of town and travel for basketball, nope, I don't trust you. I don't trust nobody with you. I don't care about it. Him being the police, I don't care. You not going. So again, practice all the way up till it's time to go play games, and then get pulled away from it. You know what I'm saying? So, but once we got to the point to where we could actually try out for the school team, that's when kind of the reins was let go. And seventh grade football, I played seventh grade football all the way through. Had a bunch of huge guys over there. Like we had the C Hall was like the alternative people, so they could be a little bit older and still be in middle school, but those guys were still able to play in middle school. So you had a guy 15, 16, pushing 17 years old, still playing with us, and we like 12, 13 years old, you know what I'm saying? So you had to hold on. You had a full person with mustache and goatee. You know what I'm saying? So that grew us up.
He had what you got on right now. He had what you had right now, right?
Like, bro, I'm like, man, do he drive to school? But that's how. But once
so that seventh grade. So like you said, you came on, and no, I was just saying like that seventh grade year. Like you said, you came on and you was on for Bethune. You was playing football and basketball, or like how did that start? Like you were just doing one or the other.
I played football, basketball, and I ran track.
Okay. So what did you play football wise? Were you back at running back
I
or
only played running
something else?
back. And anytime I ever played football, it was only running back. Well, I'll take that back. I played defense 2 plays. He put me in that line, outside linebacker. They snapped the ball, they ran the opposite way. So I couldn't do nothing on that play. He switched me to the other side, they ran the opposite way of that. And that was the only 2 times I ever played defense in my whole life.
Okay. Well, hey man, they just made sure they stayed clear of you, right?
Well, football, and that's my second regret was football. Like, that was my calling. Basketball wasn't my calling. I just like the flashiness of basketball. Like, somebody can able to see you with the helmet on. You really don't know who that person is. You really can't see them. But basketball was more flashy, so I guess that's why I geared towards basketball. But man, football was my calling, man. Like, football was what I was supposed to be playing.
Okay. Right. So how did that football season go? Like your 7th grade year? Like you said you were playing running back. Did you play well? Did the team do well?
With all them grown men we had, we went 0-5. So that means somebody else had older grown men. Like, we went 0-5 that year, bro. Like, unbelievable, man. Everybody thought that season was gonna be so promising. We had all these big guys. Like, 0-5, bro. 0-5.
Wow. All right. So that ends, and then, like I say, basketball picks up shortly after.
Yep.
So how did that get started? Like, did you were you in the mix to play early on, or how did that go?
No, like, even 7th grade, I don't even think I tried out my 7th grade year. Like, I ain't even try out. I just played like hood ball real heavy in the 7th grade.
Okay. All right. So after that kind of goes by, I guess, you said you were looking, did you do any track that season during your 7th grade year?
No, didn't do no track that year.
Okay. So in that the second semester, you could say, or that 7th grade year, did y'all do anything spring wise on the football field, or?
Man, at Bethune, you only played that sport when the season called for it. Like, it wasn't no summer practices. It wasn't no coming up in the middle of the season, up in the summertime. It wasn't nothing. It's when school started, you had like that week, tryouts, football. Like, it wasn't, I ain't gonna say it wasn't taken that serious, because Coach Eli was the best coach I think I ever had. Like, he really gave me the confidence that I needed, because like I said, my parents wasn't sport people like that. Like, my mom, my dad never came to one of my games. The only game my mom and dad ever came to was senior night, Southwood, when they do for the senior. That was the only game my mom and dad ever came to.
For the senior. Okay. Wow. Yeah, they really didn't care about sports. So, right. Okay. So coming into your 8th grade year, obviously football season is starting back up. So how did you do coming into your 8th grade year? Obviously, like you said, you played your 7th grade year, got some experience under your belt. And, from that point, I know you just kind of looking to build. And like you said, you spoke about Coach Eli, man, as far as continuing to kind of, mold you and give you, advice and confidence. So how did everything start your 8th grade year football season wise?
That year, I ain't gonna lie, man, I felt like I was the man, bro. Like you like the senior of the school, man. Like, everybody know you. You got 6th graders coming to you like, oh man, I seen you play. I seen you last year. Oh man, how you this, how you that? So coming into my 8th grade year, bro, it was like man, like, we got this, bro. Like man, I was hot. Like my coach Eli, he constantly telling me, you the best running back in the city. Ain't nobody better than you. I'm saying, man, he really had me believing that, man.
Right. So like you said, you had a lot of older players the year before. Were some of those older players still there the next year?
No, man, all of them was gone. You know, some of them life got to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but man, we was solid, man. We had Big Zach, myself, Darren Buck, Robert Green was our quarterback.
Okay.
Cat named Jose Bright, he was our wide receiver. Man, we was
Yeah. Y'all had some talent. Yeah, y'all
like,
definitely had some talent.
we really thought we was it, man. Like we thought we was it. Cat named Dexter Long, he was super fast. Like we really thought we would do it. Man, this dude named Eric, he was a little short linebacker. Eric probably wasn't no more than 5 feet tall. But bruh, man, when Eric hit you, bro, I was just happy Eric was on our team, man. Man, that guy could go. We had a defense, we had a good offense, and man, we really thought we were gonna do it, man.
So go ahead. I mean, I hear you keep saying we thought. So go ahead and tell us what happened during the season.
I'm gonna tell you, bro. We first game we had, I missed it because it was a scrimmage game, and I had puberty happen. I had acne on my face, and mom took me to the doctor. Told me put this cream on it, help me. So I missed the first game, the first scrimmage game we had. So then the next real game we had to play Lanier. I don't even think Lanier middle school no more now.
No.
So our first game was Lanier at Lanier. So the whole week they saying, man, you gotta watch yourself because win, lose, or draw, they gonna throw the bricks at the bus. Somebody gonna shoot at the bus. Like, man, like I bet not win. Right. I'm telling you, like, man, them people gonna throw bricks and everything at the bus. And I'm like, man, they gonna have to show me, bro. Like, I'm not gonna come up and stay down. Nobody. Like, they gonna have to show me. And right. I like for our defense to go on the field first, just so I can get my last minute jitters out, so I can let them set the tone of the game. And when they flipped the coin, it was just that. Lanier won the toss. They picked to go first, and our defense showed up. Coach Moss had trained our defense that over the years, Lanier do a lot of trickery plays. So he had primed our defense to watch the trickery plays, the fake reverses, the reverses, and everything. So, man, they tried to do one of the fake reverses, and here come Eric. Boom! Get him, hit the kid. He fumbled the ball. They recovered it. So now everybody crunk and we hype. So Lanier, they marched all the way down the field, and the running back tried to run up the middle. Eric picked him up, and boom, they hit him. He fumbled. They recovered the ball. We probably like on maybe the 4 or 5 yard line. Coach want to do a dive play up the middle.
Okay.
Oh, man, I don't want to dive. I want to do my sweep, my favorite play. Like, oh, man, let me get to the outside. So Robert come in there. Robert called the play. We get to the line, and the whole time I'm dreading. I'm like, man, I'm not going up the middle. He going to be mad. I ain't going up the middle. Man, Robert snapped it. I go up the middle. It collapsed. I back up. I go to the left. Everybody come over there. I go to the right. I'm home free. The closest person to me was our wide receiver. 95-yard touchdown. First play of the game.
Oh, man.
That set the tone. I think I ended up scoring 2 or 3 more times that game, and that set the tone. Got Lanier. Then we played Keyville. Oh, man. Keyville put out this 8-man front. Like, bro, we was done. Like, man, we couldn't do nothing with that 8-man front, man. So now we 1-1. Then we go over to where we go to then we play Walnut Hill. I get Walnut Hill watching Keyville. They come out the same way. 8-man front, couldn't do nothing with Walnut Hill. So now we 1-2. So now we like, I'm talking about, man, it was fights that practice that we mad because we ain't win. We not what we supposed to be. We play Hollywood.
Right.
So we get the ball first, and the way Hollywood had they field marked, it was they marked it with like killing the grass instead of putting the white line. Like it was like dead grass was the markers on. I started hitting. I'm like, bro, I'm out of bounds. Pulled me to the side, like, you're not out of bounds. Look where you're going. Like you wasn't out of bounds. You just stopped running. But I thought I was out of bounds. Don't worry about it,
Right.
Coach. Get it to me again. Same thing. Boom. Ran touchdown. I think I scored like 3 or 4 times that game. We killed Hollywood. Now we're 2-2. So now here the big test. We play midway. Oh my God. Man, they had the guy in house was they running back, I think. And I think at that time, Big Brandon had left Bethune to Midway. Keep in mind, if you see Big Brandon today, he's like 6'3", he was the same size when he was in 6th grade. Like, dude, been huge all life. Right. So we go to Midway, we win, we go to the playoffs. Man, it was probably about 20 below zero when we played Midway. The wind was blowing so hard, bro. And it's like we didn't even get off the bus. Like, man, Midway killed us, bro. I'm talking about killed us, bro. And that was the last time I played football organized.
Who did Midway have that they were so good, or did you guys, like you said, maybe you guys just didn't show up?
Man, they had a guy named Burdette. I think Burdette played with them football.
Okay.
Coco, he was a running back for Fat Paul. Sidney Coates.
Yep.
He played.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay.
Like I say, dude named House. I think his first name was maybe Brandon. I know his last name was House. Of course, Big Brandon went over to them. Man, they was ready, bro. Like they was ready. Like they was ready.
Oh yeah, yeah. They had some talent.
Like they was ready.
So, okay, so like you said, you guys end up 2-3.
Yep.
That season, right? All right. And so that was kind of the end of that. So did you already know ahead of time that you wasn't going to play football in high school, or was that something you still thinking about?
Know. Like after that, I didn't even think about it no more like that. Reintroduced to me because we went to Southwood as a freshman. A lot of us gathered up that we gonna meet at Bethune this day. So we all met up and went to Bethune. Coach Eli seen me. He was like, "I heard you ain't playing football." I was like, nah, I didn't play. He was like, "Come on, man, like you can't let that go. You can't let that talent go and all that kind of stuff." And it really that conversation just rolled off of me. And it wasn't no intention. It wasn't like nothing I told myself ever playing football again or nothing like that. It just didn't happen. Like it just didn't happen. But fast forward, not trying to move too forward, I had planned on playing my senior year at Southwood. Like I had planned on playing so much to where if I go get my class ring right now, I had them to put the football on my class ring because I told myself that I was gonna go back and play football my senior year.
Right. Okay. So, all right, yeah, we can get into that. But I guess after football season was over at Bethune that 8th grade year, did you do anything else at Bethune? Did you try to play basketball, the track that year?
Yeah, 8th grade we played. That's when I met Quinton in the 6th grade. And then that's when we kind of reunited in the 8th grade because I don't think I've seen Quinton my 7th grade year. I don't even remember.
Well, he was actually at Turner. 7th
wow.
grade here.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, he went to Turner, then came back. But why did you decide to play football? I mean, why did you decide to play basketball your 8th grade year?
Man, one of the coaches, which was Miss Anderson, we used to play in gym all the time. And she'd be like, why you don't play for the school? And I'm like, my mom then wasn't supportive of me doing nothing else. If the school didn't provide everything, my mom didn't have time for it. You know what I'm saying? Like if they weren't gonna pick you up and drop you off and have a bus for you to get home, like it wasn't gonna be done. So in my mind, I'm kind of like, I got away with football. I ain't trying to push the envelope, so let me be there. But she was like, yeah, you need to play for the school. You need to come out. You need to come on to that trial. So I went on ahead and went on ahead, came out and made the team. And man, I love that team, bro. Like, man, I love them guys, man. Like one of probably the best experiences of my life was that Bethune basketball team. That was the first time Coach Eli, that football team was his first time coaching football, and that basketball team was his first time coaching middle school basketball, and we was his first. And man, like we took on the persona of him. Like he felt like felt like wasn't nobody better than us. He felt like on paper we was the best, on the court we was the best, and we took on his persona, and that's what we did. I think everybody that was starting five, he designed your own play for you.
Wow. Okay. Well, and based on what you're saying, y'all definitely had some raw talent between yourself. You guys had Zach, Big Zach, Quay.
Yep.
Who else? Did you say Ken?
Yeah, we had Ken. We had him and his brother. We had Dexter and we had Ken. Ken actually started over his brother. Ken was our one.
Right.
We had Kevin Lewis. I think he went to Fair Park. I don't know if he played middle school. But we had Kevin was our 2, Quay was our 3. Robert Green was our 4, and I was the 5.
Okay. Yeah. So how did y'all ended up doing that season? I mean, like you said, all y'all were kind of raw.
Yeah.
Even though, like I said, the coach, instilled confidence in you guys like a coach should do.
Yeah.
But like I said, you guys were still kind of raw. So how did you guys perform like once the season started?
Man, I want to say, for some reason, I always remember the first game, and the first game was against Ridgewood. Had a guy, I know his name was Santana. I don't know what his last name was.
Okay. It's probably Santana Moss. No, that's an NFL player.
Green, I think that was his last name.
Santana Green, that's it. That's what I'm thinking, right? Because he played football.
Yeah,
also,
and they was like, man,
I
the
know
dude like lightning. Man, Santana so fast. Man, that's all you would hear. Santana. So I was like, man, like I don't think I'm better than nobody, but you're gonna have to prove you're better than me. So we was already kind of on edge to get to the game. They had they center was they center was probably about, he was over 6 feet tall. He had to be about 6'2" or 6'3". Had these little goggles on, and when they did the jump ball, I jumped. So confidence went up a little bit.
Okay.
They come down. I think they give the ball. We steal the ball away from it. Confidence went up a little bit more. Then Santana get the rebound. I ain't gonna lie, man, dude was like the roll runner. boom, he shot out with the ball. He smoked everybody. Get to the basket, blow the layup. Get the rebound, we go the other way. We score, same thing. You get it again, boom, you shoot off, leave everybody, get to the basket, blow the layup. So now we got your number. You can't make layup. Yeah, you faster than everybody. But so all we gotta do is just sit here and play the miss. Shoot, that was it right there, man. We blew Ridgewood off the court. Man, I'm talking about, man, Quinton was shooting.
Okay.
Man, Quinton was shooting from all over the place. Like, I'm talking about nothing but net every time Quinton let the ball go. Back then, you probably get mad at me saying Quinton had a little ducktail in the back, long little tail. He used to have behind the back. Man, all you can see was that little tail after he shoot it. Man, that little tail flying in the wind, him going back the other way, bro. Then the second game we played a year drive. And man, Quinton shot the lights out of year drive. Like Robert, I'm talking about, man, Robert was so strong, man. It was like man, we ended up blowing Euro Drive out. Our competition every time was Midway.
Okay.
Midway, I think we lost to them twice. Hollywood, we split, and I missed Hollywood game. And even back then, I was a sneakerhead before a sneakerhead.
Okay.
And in middle school, Barry Sanders, Nike's head came out. That was the first time Nike put the air bubble like all the way around the back of the heel. It normally had the little window on the side. Barry Sanders shoes was the first one, had it all the way around. I didn't come to school to go get them. Tried to check in. The principal was like, nah, you ain't come the whole day, so you ain't playing in this basketball game. I missed parallel that day, and I couldn't play in the game. Quinton, the team would end up losing by 10 points. That was typically my average anyway, was 10, 12 points. And that's what they end up losing by when they play Hollywood.
Oh, man. So
how we lost that game, we split with Hollywood, beat Lanier both times, beat Keyville both times, beat Walnut Hill both times. Who else?
Like you say, y'all lost both games to Midway?
Both games we lost to Midway. Okay. And bruh, and honestly, I don't even.
And at that time, Midway, did Midway have Stro at that time?
They had Stro.
Okay.
Yep. They had Stro, Birdhead. Everybody who played football that was decent. Man, they running back the house. That dude was shooting threes from everywhere, bro. Like, I'm talking about, man, old crazy shot. He was shooting it over his head. Wow. And hell, I was through out by Midway walking in the gym because they gym looked like a kitchen floor. They didn't have wood like everybody. It was like in the kitchen. And like, I was about just walking in the gym. But man, Midway beat us both times. Like Stro played. Stro, like, I don't remember him being like so dominant like he was once he got to high school. But, you know, being that tall, you got to be a factor, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So like I said, man, you seem like you guys had a pretty good season, like during the basketball season. So that kind of ends. Then you said you got into track also during at the end of the 8th grade year?
Yep. We got into track. I only ran one race, and that was the 4x100.
Okay. So why did you decide to get into track?
Man, it was just a thing to do, you know.
Okay.
All the, you know, pretty much all the athletes who ever played football came right on over the track. Me and Quinton, we ran on the 4x100 team together.
Okay. So you did the 4x1, you know. Okay. Huh.
Yep. I think Big Zach did the high jump.
Right. Okay. So you did all 3 sports Yeah, your eighth
Yeah,
grade year.
yeah.
And then as your eighth grade year is coming to an end, did you already know that you was going to be going to Southwood or?
Oh yeah, that was family tradition. Like I say, long as the bus took you there, that's where you were going. So Motown was Southwood, and everybody in the hood went to Southwood, and you did exactly the same.
Mhm. Yeah, well, I guess it's a little different now, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I think Motown go to Woodlawn now. I think.
Yeah, I think they're going to Woodlawn now, right? So,
Yeah, I don't know how. Well, they don't really gang bang no more, so
right.
that, that's probably the best because if we would have been going to Woodlawn at that time, like it wouldn't have been no school.
Right. So, all right. So you get like I say, getting ready to come into Southwood. Did you have any thoughts like coming in? Like you said, man, you just kind of completed the trifecta at Bethune. Like coming in Southwood, obviously you bringing in athletes from different areas. Did you have any thoughts about coming in and playing at Southwood as far as like the competition level?
Man, the way I left eighth grade, I felt like I was good enough to make the team. Like the thing about it is like I wasn't into summer ball like that. Like I said, my parent, my mom really she didn't trust people. Like somebody tried to come and get me. Well, I lied. Back up the summer of the eighth grade going to the ninth
Hmm.
grade, I played
Oh, really?
baseball.
Okay.
And I played baseball.
For
I
Bethune?
played I played left field and I played third. Bethune had like what Mr. Green had a team where he would bring people from Midway over and Bethune over because Mr. Green stayed like right in the backyard of Bethune Middle School, and he was like the assistant principal. So in the summertime, he would get a baseball team together, and he would go grab the guys from Midway, and he would get some kids from Bethune, and we used to practice at in Bethune baseball field, and then we would go play our games over there. What it is, Dixieland, Dixie, whatever it is,
Okay.
over off of Mansfield Road over there.
Hmm.
But
So,
my
uh,
baseball career was short lived. My mom, she didn't even go buy me no cleats. Like I'm having to go play out there. My brand new David Robinsons. I just got them shoes. But my mom wouldn't go buy me no cleats. She like, I ain't gonna buy no shoes. You gonna wear them one time. I'm not gonna do this. So I'm out there with my David Robinsons on,
mm,
and I can remember playing one game. I moved from left field to third base. I don't know what happened to the guy. I ended up moving to third base. So coach was like, man, third base hot. Got to be ready. You know what I'm saying? Block the ball, put your body in front of the ball, catch it with your glove, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, cool, cool. So, man, we get out there, we warming up. Man, these cats get off the bus. To this day, I think it was Chicago Cubs. Like, these
okay.
white guys was big. They were dressed just like the Chicago Cubs, and that's who we was in the play. Meanwhile, we looking like the Bad News Bears.
Of course.
Everybody got on submission, like,
You got on
man, that
basketball
dude got the
shoes.
pitch in that ball, bro. Man, I ain't never seen a baseball go that fast, man. I'm like, bro, man, Coco don't pitch like this at our practice, bro. Like we hit Coco balls, we can't hit that. Man, them dudes hit a line drive, and I turned to the side. The ball did some kind of weird bounce, hit me on my ankle, bro. That was my last time playing baseball. Like I was done. I'm like, nope, baseball ain't for me.
Wow. Well,
Then,
like I said, you gave it a shot, right?
yeah, I gave it a shot, bro. I just thought it was gonna be about hitting. I ain't know that I was gonna get hit.
Right. So like you said, play some baseball over the summer, and then coming into Southwood. So like and you kind of mentioned that a little bit earlier. Like it was never like a conversation, never an afterthought. Like you didn't think ahead of time. Like so, you just school started. You just never even talked about or went out to play football. It was just something you just
it just never.
pretty much forgot about.
It just got put to the back burner and never I swear, like the guys that came from Bethune with me that played football, they played. And I don't even remember a conversation with them about like, hey Q, come on out here. Like, man, come on, play with us. Like, I don't even remember having that conversation with nobody.
Now, so none of the coaches at Southwood ever approached you about playing?
Man, I didn't start getting approached about. I got approached about football. I want to say, it was either late 9th grade or early 10th grade. And at that point, I was still like in regular people gym out.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And we was out there playing, I guess we supposed to be playing touch football in the gym or tackle or whatever we was playing. Every time I got the ball, I scored. Like, and Coach Morning was like, hey, you don't want to play football? And I was like, I ain't never really thought about it. He was like, man, you probably need to go out and play football, but he never pushed the issue because he geared towards track, so
right.
He never really pushed the issue on me playing. But that was one of the times. And then the next time I got approached about playing football was my senior year. Well, no, my late junior year. One of the coaches came to me and was like, man, I see you at the basketball game the other night. Like, you were more playing football than you were playing basketball. He was like, bro, you need to come out with us. And then that's when my wheels started turning like, okay, like, all right, maybe I do need to go back and play football. And when I did have that conversation, it was like I actually came out. I don't know if you remember, I actually came to the field.
Yeah, I think I do vaguely remember that.
Yeah, I actually came to the field, but I wanted to play running back. They scheme was trying to mirror what Bird had going on with Arnaz. Like,
okay.
So when I got to the field, they was trying to make me be a quarterback. I didn't mind. Like, I was gonna do whatever y'all told me to do because I just wanted to play. So you could have told me to, you're gonna hold the cleats or something, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna put you in at the end. Like I didn't care. I just wanted to play. So got out there. We ran a couple snaps. Like I knew of, 3 steps, 5 steps, 7 step drops, but I never had put it in motion. I knew it because I was a football player, but I didn't know it like the mechanics like me doing it. So we was going through the motions, and bro, I can remember rolling out for a pass, and I could see Coach Martin walking down the sidewalk, coming to the field. And he came straight to me and was like, hey, you need to be back in the gym.
Oh.
I'm like, I'm playing football. He was like, nah, you play basketball.
Wow.
I was like, okay.
So this was like at the end of practice, like when he was walking out?
Man, practice hadn't started yet. Like I didn't go to practice, the football practice.
Ah, okay.
And I think later on, like I don't know if Johnny told me, Troy Quaid, one of them was like, man, coach was looking for you. Wouldn't nobody say nothing. And he just left, like looking for you.
Okay. So when you were going out to try to play football, and I guess this is what, like this is just like the spring of your junior year, or it's like the fall of your senior year?
Yep, this was my junior year going into my senior year.
Okay. All right.
It's like y'all, I
So
don't think y'all was like full on practicing yet because nobody had pads on or nothing.
okay. All right. So when you knew that the football practice and the basketball practice was at the same time, like you didn't think about like just saying something to Coach Marlin. You just like, I'm just gonna skip practice.
Yep. I just said forget it. Like I'm going to play football. Like because this was like it was coming first. Like when school come back around the next year, this the first sport. So I was like,
Right.
basketball really ain't that important right now. So let me like I'm finna go play football. And like I said, I went out there with the mindset of playing running back because that's the only thing I knew. But when I got out there, they put the ball in my hand like they wanted me to be a quarterback. Like not how Wade was throwing the ball and everything like that, but they wanted me to run that scheme like Bird was running, how Arnaz
The
could do the
option and everything. Right.
RPO before RPO was RPO. You know what I'm saying? So back then it was like the option. You got the option to give it to the running back, but you can keep it yourself. So that's later on. After talking, what's crazy? After talking to Joe Davis,
Joe Davidson, yeah.
Davis? Joe. Yeah, after talking to Joe, he told me, he was like, bro, they were trying to make you be the what Arnaz is at Bird. I was like, bro, like nobody came to get me. Like nobody came to save me. Like nobody, once he came and got me, no football coach ever said nothing to me after that. Like nobody said nothing. Like I don't even think I could. Like nobody would even speak to me.
Wow.
Like I'm like, man, nobody. I say, bro, like I was down for whatever.
Right.
All they like, I just come get me. And then going home, ain't nobody at home finna fight me like, my baby gonna play football. Whatever. Like it wasn't nobody at home fighting for me like that.
Right. Well, I mean, at that point, like you said, man, normally what would happen is like the coaches would have a conversation. Like, all right, well, we could use Quinton at quarterback here. Coach Marlin would have been like, well, we need Quinton for this here. And they would have compromised and kind of worked out a schedule for you to do both. That's what normally would happen.
Crazy, like, bro, like I say, man, basketball wasn't even, the season was over. Like, it's the ending of the year. Like, the only thing we had really coming up was Summer League. And he took Summer League just as, what he felt like as serious as the regular season. Because Summer League really was your measuring stick, like where you were going to be at when the season came around. So I get how serious he was taking it. But, man, like, I ain't going to lie, man. Like, I was, like, in my heart, I was 100% playing football. It wasn't no doubt. Like I said, I went so far as putting it on my class ring. Right, it's on my class ring right now. A picture of a basketball hoop and the picture of the football all on the side of my class ring.
Right. All right. So like that day he came in and got you, like, and he was like, nah, you don't play football, you play basketball. And then you was just like, I mean, like I said, at that point, were you like 17, maybe, 16? Like, you just like, okay. Like, okay, coach. Like, did y'all have like was there any other conversations after that? It was just like, that was it. That was done.
That was the conversation. Came back into practice, started up practice like had nothing ever happened.
Wow. Yeah. Well, trust me. At this point, nothing surprises me. But even at that point, you could tell like a lot of those coaches didn't, they didn't get along at all. So, like I said, that could have just as easily been worked out with just sitting down having a conversation. And like you said, if it was in the spring or even maybe sometime early in the summer, like basketball for the most part was over with. As far as like you said, summer league would have been picking up, in a month or two or so. But yeah, for you to kind of start getting familiar with the system and the plays and things of that nature, man, that spring would have been the time to do that.
And I was excited, bro, because man, I had seen, I think I had seen Pat Dennis had some kind of independence record. Then I seen Jeff Brooks break like a punt return record or something like that. And I'm like, man, I want to be a part of that. Like, I know I can do that. I know I can do all of that. And man, I was just, I seen Mike White. I seen him every time he touched the ball, he would get 9-10 yards. I'm like, man, I know I can do what Mike White doing. And like it just that day, bro. And that was the first day I was out there. Like that was day one when all that happened.
No, absolutely, man. And and like I said, I didn't have any conversation with any coaches about it, but no, I could have definitely seen you fit in offense, even at running back, like running back and at quarterback, man. They could have definitely we could have definitely used you,
Man,
man. So I'm I'm a little bummed
me
out that
too,
didn't
bro.
happen.
Like that's another one of my regrets, bro. That I never chased
Mhm.
football because that was my calling. Basketball wasn't my calling, man. Like football was
Mhm.
my calling.
Right. So just kind of getting back to this freshman year, it's like I said, didn't go out for the football team. So basketball, your freshman year, um, like you did make a decision to go out and
Yeah.
play basketball your freshman year. So how did that go? Like when you first got there, like you said, you kind of bringing people from a lot of different areas around the city to play basketball. Like how did you feel like you measured up? Once you got there and like your first time trying out, first time practicing with guys from different areas. I mean, obviously you played
Man,
against some of those guys, but now you get a chance to kind of compete with them.
this might mess your head up. We get in the gym. It's about I don't even want to exaggerate, bro. But it seemed like every freshman that was a boy was in that gym. Coach Coach Marlin he asked the whole group. He said, "How many have y'all played basketball before?" Whole gym raised their hand. He,
he
he
didn't
just
say
said
organized, did he?
basketball.
He just said whoever played before.
His next question, how many have y'all ever played for a team? Almost the whole gym hand went up. He
Mm.
said, how many of y'all played for your middle school team last year? Dexter hand went up. Lorenzo hand went up. Quayshawn hand went up. My hand went up. That was it.
Wow. So you might have had 50, 60 boys in there, and only
Yep.
four of them played middle school basketball
Yep. And
the year before.
I don't even think Bryce even came at that initial tryout date. So I think Bryce played for Hollywood, but I don't even think Bryce came the initial tryout date.
Okay. Wow.
But out of all those people in the gym, we was the only four. Quayshawn was the tallest. I was the second tallest.
Mhm. So did y'all kind of continue on with practice, or he just was like, all right, he kind of split everybody up from there?
Yeah, we went on with practice. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. People that should have made the team didn't make the team.
Hmm. Okay.
Like people that I knew could go, people that I was playing with every day at the rec, they didn't have any organized experience with basketball, but these cats could go.
Hmm.
Like they were gonna give you their all every play.
Right.
Everything else could be taught to them. Running plays and stuff like that could be taught to them, but just the natural put up the basketball, rebounding, stealing, hustle plays, knowing who to
Hmm.
guard. Like, man, we had cats like that. But
Hmm.
I guess them cats didn't fit Coach Marlin mold
Right.
because
Hmm.
we had the basketball coach at the time was Coach Hillebrand.
Hildebrand. Right.
And Coach Hillebrand, like, man, that guy pulled me to the side. Was like, bro, if I had like 50 more U's on the football field, man, like with your attitude, man, like man, you don't take no plays off. And that's all I ever knew. Like I never knew,
Right.
giving it half effort, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of them cats that
Right.
that, that was brought up just like me didn't make the basketball team. Like I'm literally playing with cats that like Michael Jordan, wore Michael Jordan jersey and shoes, but never had played basketball before.
Do you think to some degree Coach Marlin was maybe looking for a certain look?
I definitely believe it was a certain look because it's like I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I felt like he didn't want an all black basketball team.
No, I could see that.
Like not saying that
I could
he
see that. So,
was racist or anything like that, but I felt like he didn't want an all black basketball team because come on, bro. Like that was the only thing that was good here. Like man, he was putting cats on the team, bro. I'm like, bro, my little nephew in the 5th grade run rings around this cat. Like, bro, like, man, like, bro, the freshman girls basketball team he wouldn't make. Like, come on, man, like, but
so I guess, and this is kind of my question for you. So why do you think all those guys didn't play in middle school, but all of a sudden they came out to try to make the freshman team?
man, and through the grapevine, a lot of them cats was having sidebars with him. Like, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this. And he was feeding into a lot of it during the daytime in gym class and stuff like that. And he telling them to come on out and come on out and all this kind of stuff. And I just felt like they just, seized the moment. Like I didn't play in middle school because of X, Y, and Z. So, it's kind of how going to college. You was one thing when you was in Shreveport. But if I go off to Dallas and go to college or go to Natchitoches and go to college, I can reinvent myself and be whoever I want to be. I ain't got to be that nerd no more that was in Shreveport. Right. I can be the man out here in Natchitoches now. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of them. I think a lot of them went from middle school saying that I was a nobody in middle school. So let me reinvent myself and be somebody when I get to high school on the sports level. Because everybody's somebody. I ain't saying that
right.
Like this.
No, I get you. I understand what you're saying as far as like in context. Right.
Yeah, like let me try to go do this and get a little bit more popularity, or even if they just really thought that they could play, you know what I'm saying? They just came on out, but a lot of them cats got spots that shouldn't have had spots. That a lot of cats that came from Mooretown with me and Farzo, they should have been on that basketball team with us.
Right. And he was like, "There's no way I'm gonna have an all Mooretown Forest Oaks team."
Exactly, and that's just what it was, and that's just what it was. And I ain't gonna lie, that sit back and just let your talent do the work, he would have had that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So as I guess he trimmed down the team, and you kind of come down to the team, when you go through tryouts, and the season starts. Like how did the season kind of start? Like how did you guys compare against now you're on another level, skill level is a little higher, competition is a little better. Like how did you fare like individually like that freshman season? Then how did the team do?
Man, crazy story. The day of the first game, I didn't even have true basketball shoes.
Okay.
My school shoes was Jerry Rice spring training, cross training shoes. My mom, I went home, rode the bus home, told my mom we had a game tonight. I needed some basketball shoes. We went to South Park Mall that day. She bought me the Jordans when he retired that had all his accomplishments on the bottom. The white, gray, and black. Those were my basketball shoes. We went to the mall that day. Shoes dropped me back off at school, and that's when I played my basketball game with those shoes on. And we played Huntington. And we ran the play and it opened up. I can remember shooting. The play developed. I was behind the 3-point line and shot it. And that's what opened the season up with. Me shooting the 3-pointer, making it. And that's what opened the season up. And After that, bro,
Okay.
it was like a blur. Like
I
our
can imagine.
guards, like we didn't have good guard play at all. Like
Hmm.
Quayshawn ended up having it. Like once we realized, like, okay, these guys don't know how to break a press. They really don't know what a press is. So Quayshawn and Zoe went up and they took over to do this. And you're gonna get wore down with you the only two
Oh
doing
yeah.
something. I'm in the
Right.
middle, jumping high as I can to try to get the ball in the middle, to turn around and face up to try to get the outlet. And with us being like the only 3 to 4 people that had played basketball before, we were playing with a whole lot of guys that just didn't know how basketball flowed. So our freshman year was tough, man. Like I want
It
to
was
say
tough.
I pushed that freshman year out of my mind.
Hmm. Okay. So as that season, kind of moves on, like, obviously everybody who comes in and plays freshman ball kind of keeps their eye on JV and keeps their eye on varsity. So as you started looking, at the JV and the varsity team, like what were your thoughts about those guys as far as like, how they were playing, how they were performing, um, as a freshman when you got a chance to just watch those
Man,
guys?
like Rodney, the Wingays, the Leroy, that was Motown. So I already knew them guys. I already
Hmm.
been seeing them play. Um, Pooh, man, like Pooh was that dude. Like, like
Yeah.
Pooh was that guy, man. Like Tony did his thing. Like I honestly thought Tony was gonna go straight to the NBA from high school. Like seeing it for the
Hmm.
first time, understanding that that could happen, that somebody can go from high school to the pros. I thought it was gonna be Tony.
Yeah. A lot of people
Like
did.
to this day, during those years, there was no one I seen that would stop Tony. Like he did everything. Like it wasn't nothing he could do. Dude would shoot 3 pointers
Hmm.
like free throws. And seeing that was
Yeah.
like mind blowing. The work ethic, the hard work. Like I can say, man, he telling me like, man, watch watch John John. John John was like silent assassin, super strong. He was gonna go get them hard boards. He was gonna guard the biggest player, the best post
Hmm.
player. That was John John guy. Wingate too. Like Wingate would go in the battle too. Like your biggest man, your post player. And a lot of people, will try to say, oh,
Hmm.
Wingate didn't have number 1 point this game or 3 points that game. But if you watch that game, man, Wingate was the person Wingate was guarding had about the same amount of points he did.
Right.
And they supposed to be the man. You know what I'm saying? So Wingate, like a
Right.
lot of the defensive stuff like that I would watch was Wingate was on from Wingate too. Because Wingate, man, like bro, like he would be going some of the best big men in the city. And Wingate was undersized. But
Hmm.
the work ethic that they had, that's what I adapted to, and that's what I thought it
Um,
was gonna always be like.
mm, okay. So coming into, like, I guess your freshman year ends, and like I say, you're looking at getting ready to roll into the sophomore year. Like, did you change anything about, like, um, I guess, like your workouts, or just you anticipating coming in and playing JV? Did you change anything about your game? Did you try to work out more? Did you try to change the
I
workouts
want to
out and
say
any?
going into my 10th grade year, I felt like how I felt going into my 8th grade year. Like we got this. Like Like we gonna do our thing. Like man, we got like the second varsity. We got everybody who on JV that's second string for varsity. So I'm like, man, these guys be rolling when they get in the game. So when our JV come, like, oh man, we gonna be straight. And typically we were like our team was decent. Like we had a decent team.
Right. Okay. All right. So, and you mentioned that, like, kind of during your freshman year, getting the opportunity to watch, those guys. Which you mentioned the Winyays, the Poos, the Tonys. Those guys were juniors that year. So coming into your sophomore year, those guys are seniors, and they put together, if not the best, one of the best seasons ever at Southwood, as a speak to like a regular season. So can you kind of speak to that? Like, in the 10th grade now, actually, having the opportunity to probably spend a little bit more time with the varsity team, as far as practice and things of that nature. Like, can you speak to like what your thought processes were? What did you see like that season as they begin to rack up all these wins and start to get all this notoriety?
It seemed like it was like a small fire, and every game that they would win, there was more gasoline put on. More gasoline. Like right before your eyes, you could see everybody getting better and better and better at their job. Like you would see Brian Reed, like you could already write the 3 down in the book because he had perfected it so much to where you know it was going in. Like Rodney and Pooh on that press when they trapped in the corner, and when they made that guy spin, you already knew either Rodney or Pooh was finna steal it from the backside. Like every game that they would win, you could like visibly see them getting better and better and better. And like that's what like I was gravitating towards, and I felt like that everybody was seeing what I was seeing, how I was seeing it. Obviously, I was dead wrong. Not taking nothing away from nobody or nothing like that. But that's how I was seeing. I was seeing those guys and like getting better and better. And if they doing that, you want to keep that going. Like, man, that's what they doing. Like, man, look how they is at practice. Look how everything's so sharp, everything's so clean. Absolutely. All that laughing and joking. Like, it ain't none of that. You had your clown. Like Rodney D would clown, Tony would clown. But Winye would probably say something every now and then. But for the most part, it was all business the whole time you was at practice. And man, I seen them guys like literally with my own eyes getting better and better and better and better.
Right. So how did you take them losing that playoff game? So they have I think if I recall correctly, it was about 32-3 that season. A couple losses to Bird, and they go into the playoffs, which they end up playing Fair Park in the second round. I think they played Karen Crow the first round. Beat Karen Crow pretty handily. Karen Crow came to Southwood, and then
ran him out the gym.
Right. So the second game, because I think Fair Park was playing, I think, Ouachita in the first round, and I think Ouachita was the favorite. So I don't even think they were anticipating even playing Fair Park in that game. But they ended up winning. Obviously, Strohmeyer was coming into his own at that point, and and they had some other players there as well. But like I say, they came in and even though we had the top record, Southwood had the top record, we ended up going to Fair Park, which I still don't understand. I don't understand how or why that happened, but I got an explanation as far as Southwood had a first round home game, and then Fair Park went on the road, so they felt like they had to flip it up. So
Man,
for whatever reason. So like, can you? So what were your thoughts on that game?
bro, like, okay. Quinton was the only one of us out of our class that was playing varsity. And he wasn't on the team. He would be actually on the court. So that was my guy. So wherever Quinton played at, I was coming to the game. So anywhere he went, I was there to support my guy. When we heard Fair Park had won, we was like, who's next? Like man, Tony done murdered Stroh every time. Like, ain't nobody on their team or who. Man, Rodney D, Brian, Pat, Jeff, like, bro, like, man, come on. Like, man, really? Then it was, we got to go to Fair Park. I'm like, oh, hold on. I'm like, that don't make no sense. Like, we didn't already beat them twice in the season. And I want to say we probably even played them another time, maybe in something else. But I know we had beat them 2 times in the season.
Yeah, maybe in one of those tournaments during the Christmas time. Yeah,
CNB.
I think it's CNB, right?
Yep. So we like, all right, cool. Like, all right, this Fair Park. Like, man, we been there, done that. Like, come on. So I can remember sitting probably 2 rows away from the floor, and Tony getting the rebound, and at this point it was too little, too late. I can remember Tony getting the rebound. He head fake, went up and dunked it. Nobody moved. Everybody was like stunned. Like, we knew what time it was. Like, yeah, you just dunked it, but man, it ain't number like 2 seconds left. Like, bro, it was so crushing because we really felt like the girls was gonna win that year and our boys was gonna win that year.
Yes, absolutely. And I will say this, like, and all credit to Fair Park, man. Like, that was probably one of the most hostile environments at that point for me, because I was there. I was at the game, man. I had ever been in. Like, the crowd was bananas, man.
Everything
so that obviously helped.
Was huge to that crowd. You could walk. Oh! I'm talking about the ref call a foul. What you mean? Like, dude picking his teeth up off the floor. Like, everything was a big deal. I'm talking about, bro, concession stand was empty. Like, man, I think half the time the refs was watching the game. Like, everything was huge. It was packed. I'm talking about, bro, you like right up on the edge of the court. Like,
true. Standing room only, man. Standing. That's it. So,
man, standing room only, bro. Like, and I'm like, just put myself back in that, bro. Like, I was hurt. Like, man, I'm looking at everybody's face, bro. I'm looking at Pooh face. I'm looking at Tony face, Winye, Rodney, Pat, then my guy, like, Quinton, man, I'm like, bro, like then it's kind of like, wish that I could have did something or anything, like, bro, like, right. I think I would have felt better. I would have felt better if Falpo would have went on to the next game and won. So I could really be like, okay, they were special. But man, they went on to the next game and got murdered by Lester Earlman. Like,
right.
I'm like, bro, like we supposed to, and Lester Earl was in the same conversation with Kobe Bryant.
Right. Yep.
So I'm like,
yep. At that time, absolutely.
They went way down there to get blown out, man. That's supposed to be us down there, bro.
And yeah, to think about it, that would have been a sight to see Tony go up against Lester.
Man.
You know, in a playoff game.
And fun fact, the coach for that team was Mr. Alger's brother.
Really?
Yep. That was Mr. Alger's brother, his older brother.
Okay. No, that is a fact. Fun fact. Right. This concludes part 1 of my interview with Quinton White. Definitely tune in, as part 2 will be coming out very soon. As always, please like and subscribe to the channel if you want to be kept up to date as we release new content. And if you have a story that you'd like to share, please write us at mystory@morethansportspodcast.com. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you for part 2.